Hey everybody, welcome back to Live with me. I'm back with another video. Look at me putting out the videos. Okay, y'all. This video is going to be the ranking of my previous Shop My Stash eyeshadows that I used. My goal was to do Shop My Stashes for 2 weeks, but this one ended up being 3 weeks to almost a month because of the holidays. And it was supposed to be just Natasha Denona products, but it ended up being different ones I threw in there for the holidays. And but it is Natasha Denona heavy. Now, I guess I probably should say this. I did not start these videos on YouTube. I see a lot of YouTubers doing them, and so I decided to do them because 2023 is going to be the year of me using my stuff. I'm not going to be shopping willy-nilly. I'm not going to be seeing squirrels all over the place and having to buy everything I see. So my goal is to use what I have. And eyeshadows looks as I make them will be documented on here in short videos or on my Instagram account, I Am Meech, which I'll link in here, and it's my eyeshadow looks diary. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing as far as documenting my looks and using all my eyeshadow palettes. Yes, I'm going to be shopping, but not nowhere near how I did in this year, in 2022 and previous years. I would like to use my money for other things, and I have enough stuff, and it's starting to get in the back of my mind that this stuff is going to go bad and I hardly used it. So I want to use what I have. But anyway, let me get off my soapbox and we're going to start the ranking. Now, ranking is subjective and it's hard, and especially since I think this is only my second or third one doing it. But it's fun. So, because I added eyeshadows, I'm not sure how many I have. I think I might have 16, but 3 sets are going to be 2 together. So I'm not going to say the number, but I'm going to start from the least favorite to my most favorite, because I love all my eyeshadow palettes. If they're in my collection and I used it and I kept it, I love it. It's just that it had to fall somewhere. So that's how I came out with my ranking. Alright, so let's get started with my least favorite. So my least favorite eyeshadow palette is this one. It is the Vive eyeshadow palette. It is the Essential palette. No surprise, it is a neutral palette. And I love these colors. You'll see that theme throughout all my eyeshadows. But the shimmers in here aren't that good. That's why I put this at the bottom of the ranking. I keep making sure my camera will stick with me. It's done got me off my groove. Okay, the next eyeshadow in the ranking, moving up the ranking, is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I am doing my best to like this eyeshadow palette. It has good formulas. The eyeshadows blend well and all that. But cool tones, I just don't like cool tones in my crease area. And I'm just learning how to blend them very well. So that's what I feel like that's why I cannot appreciate this palette as much as I should. I did a look with this the last month and I really like that look. But I could only do looks starting with this color here. If I don't start with that, I don't like any of the looks. So I think as my experience with eyeshadows continue to grow, I'll grow to appreciate this eyeshadow and its cool tone. The next eyeshadow on the list is also another Natasha Denona, but this one is a mini, and this one is the Mini Love palette. Someone's at the door, but child. Okay, the next palette, as I was saying, is the Mini Love palette. I did like this palette, and it brought a little bit of color to my looks for the past month. It's just, you know, it's just not my favorite. I like the pinky tones, but it's just not my favorite. It wasn't my favorite eyeshadow palette that I used. Alright, moving on up. The next eyeshadow palettes are a pair, and they're from ColourPop. They are the Down to Earth and the Sparkler palettes. They're two quads. The Down to Earth is an all matte palette, and the Sparkler has 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. I traveled to Texas a couple of weeks ago for my graduation from ACU, and these were 2 of the palettes that I took, and I love the look that I got with them. I actually used them together. I used the mattes from here. I used the mattes from here because it has a darkening, a deeper shade that I like, and then the shimmers from here, and they travel well. One of my eyeshadows did break. It was already a little crumbly, but it did break in the travel. We flew, and I just used some alcohol to put it back together, and it's as good as new. But yeah, these are some staples in my collection. The next eyeshadow I have is from Sydney Grace, and it's the Be Mine palette. It was their Valentine's Day palette from, I believe, 2022, and it's a nice twist on the Valentine's Day because it's not all pinky and cute and red and all that, but it has it's a nice neutral palette. It does have some pinks in it, but I really like this palette, and I like that it has this deep color, so you can smoke it out and really deepen it up. Now that I've gotten more into eyeshadows, I can appreciate a good black where I was afraid of a good black before. But Sydney Grace palettes, they never disappoint. They're beautiful. They blend well. They are very, very good eyeshadow palettes. Okay, the next palette I have is from Linda Halpert. It's her Infinity Deep palette. It looks like this. I really love this palette. It is a dual purpose palette. You can use it for the eyes and the face, and it's some nice eyeshadow sizes in here. It's really nice. I really love this color right here. No, it's this one. This is a color. I really love that color right there. It's called Quasar. This is a beautiful orange, but this palette as a whole is very nice, easy to blend, and like I said, you can use that on your eyes and your face. My next eyeshadow palettes on the list are also a double for your treble. They are the Natasha Denona base palettes. I have both the light and the dark. When she came out with these, even though they're just neutral looks, these blew my mind, and I'm so glad I got it. I love, love, love the looks I get with this. And also, as a bonus, the blush and the highlighter are also nice too. Now, I've heard some people say that their blush and or their highlighter dried out. I have had no issues with either of mine, so I really, really like this eyeshadow palette. This is the dark one. You can see that, and of course she has the little shield over the blush and highlight. That's the dark one. And here's the light one, same concept. I got both because I wanted all the shimmers. I wanted to be able to have all the shimmers and to be able to go as light or dark as I wanted to when I made a look with these. So that's where these fell, and like I said, I really love them. Okay, the next eyeshadow palette in the ranking is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. This palette was way farther down in the ranking until I saw a certain picture on Instagram. I'll insert it here, and it just gave me so much motivation to use this palette and to realize the gorgeous tones that are in there. And this is what it looks like. This is a beautiful palette. And I had to learn to appreciate it because it was almost in the same boat as the Glam, but not so far down. But this is a beautiful palette, and it's very women of color friendly. And the look I did create with this last month, I really did like it. So I really like this palette, and I think it falls in the right part of my ranking for this month. Next palette in the ranking are also some duos. Those are the Melt Gemini 1 and Gemini 2. What can I say? Beautiful, beautiful palettes. What caused me to pull these out is I was looking at people's rankings, and you always hear either people like them or they're talking bad about the shimmers. But and each one of these has two different shimmers. This is the original this is the original Gemini. And this is the Gemini 2. And I love them both. They perform so well, the mattes, and so did the shimmers. The shimmers are a little thick and a little chunky, but I don't mind that because sometimes you want a little thick and you want a little chunky shimmer. You don't want all of them to be smooth. You don't want them all to be satin. You don't want them all to be metallic. You want something different. And so when I want something different, I reach for Melt, and it does not disappoint. And I love both of these. I love both of these palettes, and I'm tired of people talking bad about it. Yeah, I know every eyeshadow palette is not a winner, but when you buy Melt, you know that their eyeshadows are a little thicker and a little chunkier. If you don't like that, don't buy it. That's what I think. Instead of talking bad about the company, but that's just my little opinion. Next eyeshadow palette is another Natasha Denona, and this Natasha Denona is my favorite neutral palette, my ride or die that never disappoints, and it is the Beaver palette. This is an awesome staple to have in your collection if you're a neutral lover, or even if you want to just reach for some neutrals. I believe it only has 3 shimmers in here, and the rest are neutral, with some being neutral and some being cool. So I love this eyeshadow palette. It is really good. I also have the bundle from Sydney Grace that was meant to replicate that, and I love that one as well. But this is the OG right here, Biba Rocks. Okay, the next eyeshadow palette is one that I also took with me when I went to my graduation. My graduation robe was purple, and I wanted to have a purple eye look. And there was none other that I would take than Mother Pat, even though she is doing the most right now. And not in a good way. But this was perfect for me. It's small, but it packs a wallop. These colors... there's nothing I can say. Yeah, it's tiny. Yeah, it's tiny. But you don't need that much anyway when you're dealing with Pat McGrath. Quality is great. The colors came out good. I mean, I just love the look. I put the look on in the morning, and I didn't graduate till 7:30 that night, and I didn't have to touch up anything. I was good to go, and I love, love, love this little eyeshadow palette. And I hope she does come up with little tiny ones like this, like with new colors. Like, don't repeat anything, Mother Pat. You gotta stop that. But, you know, put some new colors in there, and so like a neutral one, you do a bronzy one, a gold one. You know, there's so many she can do with some new colors, but I love this. This did not disappoint me. Small but mighty. Okay, now I can say we're to the final 2, and this was hard. I decided to give number 2 to my Natasha Denona Gold palette. This is my favorite Natasha Denona palette of all time. I love the gold palette. It is gold, it's neutral, it's great quality, easy to use, beginner friendly. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful color story with the yellows and greens and browns, and it's not too warm. I love it. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette, and I know it was talk where she was discontinuing this, but I hope she doesn't. And if she does, she can bring this back in a midi, and that'll be even more reasonable. But if she keeps it in this size and this goes bad, I am still going to repurchase this. This is my favorite palette from her, and it is amazing. All right, the last one, the top of the top, the creme de la creme for last month. I had to, there's no way I couldn't do this. It is a indie brand called Adept, and it's the Heather Austin palette. Adept's shimmers. They have the most wonderful shimmers. Beautiful. There's nothing top notch. There's nothing bad. Oh, they're so shiny on the lids. Just beautiful. I love this eyeshadow palette. And what I love even more are the mattes that they put in here. A lot of times, Adept eyeshadow palettes are very shimmer heavy. So they may just have 2 or 3 mattes in the palette. But this one has 4 mattes. And she gave you 2 neutral and 2 like kind of mattes that are kind of different. So if you want to go different, you can use the yellow and green. Or if you want to go neutral, you can use the peachy one and the burgundy. Just beautiful. Okay, everybody, that's it for my ranking. It was fun to do, even though my camera did not want to cooperate with me. But anyway, this was so fun to do. I hope you like it, and I hope you're looking forward to my next one, which will be in about 2 weeks. Thank you so much. I wanted to say once again, Happy New Year to all. Just remember, God is in control. I read something today, and it said, God rules with love, not force. And I love that because it shows that, you know, we think we can make people do what we want them to do, and we're going to make this world a better place. You're not. If people aren't doing things out of love, what are they doing it for? Well, you guys, I love you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.